Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the BCR11 Kamen Rogue from Kamen Build. This is the 11th entry in the Ball Change Rare series, which has its own unique gimmick. This set includes the figure and one accessory. So, let's get started. And here we have Kamen Rogue. So, let's take a look at the figure. Starting off, you can see that this guy has a color scheme very similar to that of the Crocodile Crack Full Ball, being mainly purple and kind of teal green, with some black and white mixed in. Looking at head, you can see that he has these cracks running down his face. Then he has a pair of crocodile jaws on the sides of his face, and you notice that the right side has this metallic eye. So if you look at, when turned on the side, you can see a crocodile head, or a pair of crocodile jaws snapping down on his head. Coming down to the torso, you can see for the chest it also has more cracks in the design, as well as a design on the side similar to crocodile jaws again. Have a pair of separated crocodile jaws, one on each shoulder. Coming down along the arms, you have these spines that stick out from the forearms, as well as these nice cuffs and the hands, which have some molding on the back to represent the kind of back ends of some crocodile claws. Though in the show, his fingers are also clawed, but I can see that they probably decided to keep it as the standard fingers to make it easier to hold his accessory. Coming down to the belt, it's the standard slash driver, painted up in the same basic colors, but this time with a molded in Crocodile Crack Full Ball painted in purple. Getting down to the legs, you've got this nice design running down. You got these pads here, a couple more spines sticking out to the sides on the lower legs, and then similar ankle cuffs to the wrist cuffs, as well as some nice clawed feet. Getting around to the back, you can see he's got these ridges down his spine, some nice molded detail for the backs of the arms. Once again, the back of the belt isn't painted. You also have this dial here, which will be for the gimmick. And then, just some pretty basic details on the back of the legs. Articulation-wise, there's again no head articulation. Arms rotate 360 degrees, go in and out to about 90 degrees thanks to a deep cut in the shoulder pad. Have a bicep swivel, single joint elbows, wrist swivel, and two separate finger joints. Once again, no waist swivel. Legs go forward and then back down, in and out. Have a thigh swivel, single joint knees, and ball joint ankles. So for this gimmick, as I said, you have this dial here in the back, and when you turn it, that actually changes around the head. And if we take a look at it, you can see that this is a blank version of his filled-in head, so you don't have any of the white cracks running down the face, and the eyes, though molded in there, are completely blank. And you also see that when this happens, the jaws open up. So when you turn it back, it spins back around the head and closes the jaw. And this is to replicate the final part of his transformation. Thing is, it's actually kind of hard to do this quickly because it's easy to overshoot that clicking point. But you have something like that. It also comes with his accessory, which is the Nebula Seam Gun. So, this is molded on purple, but you can see it has a lot of nice molding detail. You can see all the gears, the handle. You even have the molding for a very accurate looking slot for full balls, or gears. You have things like the pegs to attach the back end of the steam blade. You have all the details on the back as well. And so you have the figure hold it in either hand, just opening up hand and just having him grip it with his fingers. Though it is a little bit tricky because, if you have him grip it, it's actually pretty easy to somehow have it so that the gun is kind of not facing straight. So you want to really be careful to make it so that he's both gripping the gun well, but also gripping in a manner that it'll be pointing forward when you pose him with it. And again, that is just a little bit tricky, but it really is just a product of how they've been using this finger design for years. But you can get him something like that. And there we go. So overall, Kamen In Rogue is a pretty good figure. While there isn't too much to say about it, and it doesn't do all too much, I do appreciate that they have given it some kind of a gimmick, even if it does limit the head articulation, or makes it so it doesn't have proper head articulation, just because these figures are supposed to be part of a gimmick line, and Bandai has in the past released figures that were forms of riders that didn't really have any kind of gimmick they could incorporate, things like Counter Enemy or Storm or Beast Hyper. And it's just nice to be able to have each figure have some kind of gimmick just to make it feel like it is part of this gimmick figure series. And for what it's worth, they do a very good job at getting the proper molding and painting, at least on front, and having that being painted on the back is just pretty standard for these types of gimmick figures. But as far as this goes, there isn't really too much you could really add to Kamen In Rogue, apart from slightly better paint and detail and better articulation. But for what it's worth, as far as a basic action figure for Kamen In Rogue goes, this one definitely is quite good. So if you're a fan of this guy and you want a nice, well-articulated figure, this is certainly something I can recommend. Next time, I'll be opening up a box of Yokai Metal Treasure 06 packs, Tuesday at 6 PM PST. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.